Good morning.
Hi, how are you?
Good, good.
Good, Okay. So, as per normal protocol, please switch on your cameras, guys. This will be good. Yes, we want to see who our colleagues are. Dr. Kamini, hello. Hi, Melissa. Selamat datang, selamat pagi. Dari mana? Penang ke Selangor? Melissa, Selangor, I know. You can answer, Melissa, don't worry. You can switch on.
Yes.
Stephanie, Selangor. Dr. Kamini, Penang. I can't hear you.
Morning, everyone.
Hi. Hi, Sharina.
Hi.
Kamini, you may want to unmute if you want to speak. There's this unmute button. So I believe you are in
Yeah,
Penang.
it's unmute. Okay, now I can hear
Okay.
me.
All right. No worries. No worries. All right. We will be starting. It is 9:31 exactly sharp. For
Okay.
those of you who know my style, we start on time. All
Okay.
right. So that's good. Thank you very much for attending this first session of the ACiD trip. A very good morning. As you can see, my slides over there. Let's go on. All right. Now, today it will be lesson 1 or session 1 on the accelerated introduction to teaching, research, and pedagogy. All right. Now, this is also known a little bit as what we call here as the ACiD trip. Some of you may think ACiD trip is nothing that you put in your nose and you sniff. Not the kind of ACiD trip, nor do you eat it. This is basically something to do with academic requirements, expectations, especially for those individuals joining us here in UOW, Malaysia. Now, this process or this session or the various workshops over here is required by all new colleagues, academic colleagues, from lecturer all the way to head of schools and also DDCs to a certain extent to attend. This is a requirement under the HR and also as per expectation and a good brief on what is expected as an academician here in UOW Malaysia. Some of you may ask, Gabe, but I've been teaching for 25 years, 30 years, 35 years. So why do I need to understand what is these things such as like OBE and so on? The reason is because different institutions may have different expectations. All right. So basic fundamentals pedagogy will maintain the same, but maybe I would dare say, I won't say even maybe, but I can be quite sure that over here in UOW, there could be a little bit of differences in comparison with what is happening in maybe Sunway, UCSI, and so on. Okay. Morning, Dr. Prem. Okay. So that is why this is actually required by all. Now, as you can see, some of our colleagues over here are also those who are attending it for the second time. It's just for a refresher, and for them to also because maybe now it's end of the semester and they would like to join to know a little bit and to a bit of a refresher on what has actually happened. So, outcome of the session, what we want to do today is basically a historical lesson. Today is Hari Ini Dalam Sejarah session. I will take the next an hour and a half to talk to you about UOWM. That is very important. Now, the reason why this is important is because we are made of, or we are who we are based on the historical happenings that has happened to us and to our organization. So that is why it is very important for us to know our history, how we started and how we am today. That is very important. So the bulk of the session will be a history lesson that will touch from 1983 all the way until we come today. Now, why am I doing this? Number one, because this is actually managed by Teaching and Learning Center. All right. And also because I've been here long enough to know the history. So over here in UOW, when they talk about furniture, my name normally comes out. All right. Due to the fact that I've been here for 24 years, a little bit too long. Now, so there's always this running joke about why people stay so long. Number one, either they really love the company or they're hopeless that they cannot go anywhere. So I hope it is not the latter. So, okay, now I'm Gabriel. I'm the head and the functional head of Teaching and Learning Center for both Selangor and also in Penang. Okay, now with me, we have a team of trainers that are over in Selangor, and updates will be coming in for our colleagues in Penang, where we are looking into the process of developing something on teaching and learning, a more physical office over there very, very soon. Okay, so outcomes of the session. Welcome to UOW Malaysia. What are the objectives of this ACiD trip? Expectation as an academician. What are the expectations? Things have really evolved already over here. So yesterday I was in a symposium. All right, a very interesting symposium organized by the American Embassy, and we were talking about things pertaining to artificial intelligence and where AI is heading towards the future, and also the expectation of us as academicians. So the underlying statement that everybody took home was this: we as academicians, rest assured, your job is still there. There is still a big requirement for academicians, physical academicians like us, even with the spur and the dawn of artificial intelligence. However, academicians that don't evolve with AI will then be obsolete. It has nothing to do with academicians, but academicians itself like us, we need to evolve. We need to evolve towards the changing of the environment of AI for us to be relevant. So our relevancy here is not so much about us itself, but what we do. And that is something that everybody over there understood and felt that is mainly very critical for us to understand. Then I'm going to touch a little bit of students of today. Today, what is expected from you and how will you be assessed? Now, how will you be assessed is completing the circle over here is basically when we understand as an academic staff over here, what are KPIs, what are expectations, and how do we ensure we achieve those expectations? Who do we speak to in regards to these expectations itself? Okay, now at any time, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask, raise your hands up or just put it in the chat box. Even if I don't see, my colleague Ali will highlight and we will be able to address your questions. For those of you who just joined, please switch on your cameras because it'll be nice for all of our colleagues to see who you are. Okay. Okay, so when we look into the ACiD trip sessions, there are 6 sessions over here. From the first one, that is the welcome. Then we are going to look at OBE in a fortnight's time, if I'm not wrong. And then we are going to look into lesson plan and assessment, classroom management, research and e-learning and blended learning. So if you look into the various key areas and topics that is covered by ACiD, by the ACiD trip, it readies the individual to be an academic competent academic here in UOW Malaysia, not only in the relation of delivering classes, but also in aspects regards to research, because that is a critical area that we would like every individual to partake in on the matter of research. When during the session of research itself, you will be told and also guided that research doesn't mean immediately publishing papers in the highest tier journals. No, research goes through steps and stages. So what we want here is we want every individual to not look at the word research as a very fearful word itself, but one that is all of us will need to achieve, but in our own pace and step. Now, that doesn't mean 5 years for a paper, because as a university today, it is important for us to partake in areas of research immediately. But as I stress, not in the immediate scope of the tier 1 papers and so on. But we always need to start on this. Okay, so these are all the sessions of the ACiD trip. Okay, now, so what are the objectives? To serve as an induction program for new lecturers, introducing them to fundamentals in teaching and learning, ACiD trip itself. Integrate teaching and learning with research. So another critical part, to compel research or pedagogical deliverables from lecturers for both new and existing. So what we want to look here is the deliverables. And finally, something that I'm very passionate of and always want to push is interdepartment sharing or inter-faculty sharing. among lecturers. There are many things that are done very well by our colleagues that we do not know. The reason is because we did not hear about it. So we want to use these sessions as a platform for sharing, and this platform of sharing will be able to benefit every individual. Okay. Also, on the matter of interdepartment, here is a matter of research. So please also start thinking that even though you are in computing, games, engineering, and so on, you can also look at research that is inter-faculty or inter-department. That is something very, very, very interesting. Quite a few years ago, I still remember hospitality school worked hand in hand with the engineering school here in Selangor, and they did projects together. And many of those things actually came into existence in such that there was a need by hospitality school for certain equipments. Because in hospitality, we are looking at equipment that are now very science related. You see, science and food gastronomy has gone together. It has now created a synergy. So they required certain equipment that was not available in the market, or maybe too expensive and unable for us to reach. So what did hospitality school do? They worked with engineering. They told engineering school their requirement. So they did research together. Finally, when the equipment came out, they managed to use the equipment. It was a physical research, and the equipment was used in the delivery of courses and products in the hospitality school. So this is the benefits when we look at inter-faculty, inter-school, inter-department kind of research. And that is what is also something which the institution is really, really driving for. Okay, get more ideas, synergize our research capabilities over there. All right, can think about, So I think to start off this history lesson, ini hari ini dalam sejarah, history lesson, we need to go back. We need to go back 41 years. We need to go back to the time of Paramount Education, all right, of Paramount Corporation, as you would call that. Now, so I think this is very important. Now, the reason is because, as you know, KDU as a college or as an entity itself was acquired by UOW in 2019. So from 2019 until now, 5 years, we are now UOW Malaysia. But without a doubt, we cannot neglect the fact that for 36 years prior to that, we were under Paramount Corporation, and the market, a lot in the market, know us as KDU. Now, the reason why I need to touch on this is because during your consultation and during open days, career fairs, and so on, sometimes parents will ask you, hey, UOW, what were you called the last time? Then you say KDU. Oh, yes, my brother was from there. My cousin was from there. My whoever, some of us were also alumni of KDU itself. So that is why, exactly, Stephanie, me too. But of course, I'm year 92 lah. That is how many years I've been here lah. It's telling my age, right, Sotish? Okay. All right. So basically, it's so important. And who we are today is very much based on how we were before. History is the maker of us today. All right. So let's start a little bit on Paramount and Paramount Corporation. So when we look into Paramount Education, it was the education arm of Paramount Corporation Berhad. Paramount Corporation is a very, very large property developer here in Malaysia. They develop properties over here in Selangor. We have Paramount Garden, we have Kota Kemuning, and over in Penang, in the Batu Kawan area, they are also a key developer over there. So a little bit on history, during that time, the main man was Datuk Teo Cheng Kwan. I mean, some of you may have heard it as Datuk Teo. Datuk Teo has always been very passionate about education. So in the early 80s, there was the reality, I'm going to speak about reality here. It was quite difficult for a lot of individuals to go overseas. It was very expensive, and there was lack of opportunity in scholarships and so on. So many individuals who did not have the money and did not get the scholarship was caught in the conundrum of not being able to continue their education. So he thought that this was a good time and it was a proper time for him to develop a higher learning institution. All right. And that is where in 1983, he started KDU College. Now, KDU stands for College Damansara Utama. Some of you may ask, Gabe, but it's located in SS22, which is Damansara Jaya. Previously, in the 80s, it is Damansara Utama. It was Damansara Utama. That is why it is KDU. Okay. K College, I mean the spelling, the Malay spelling itself. That is how he started. So this gentleman, Datuk Teo, is a very, very passionate individual. I'm going to tell you a little bit, I'm going to tell you a short anecdote about this gentleman itself. In 2050, I joined KDU in 1st of January 2001. Yes, 1st of January 2000, 010101. But they asked me to come in 2nd of January. For those of you who know the joke, you know lah. Okay. Now, I left KDU in 2015 for a short while. Why? I had a side project. I did something on my own. All right. It was a social enterprise. All right. So I left. But during that time, I was still teaching in a hotel school because they needed people to teach these two subjects that nobody could do. So I was doing. So technically, I never physically left KDU. Only in employment, I left. It was a failure. My project was a failure. I really own up. We try, right? And we try. At least I tried. I've been one of the few that saya cuba, not successful, but saya pernah cuba. So I did something on my own. I went out, I tried to do. I'm a person that requires routine, and doing things on my own took away the routine. Okay. So I was then called back came back to UOW and so on. In that year, we used to collect bonus letter at Paramount Corporation. We go to Paramount Corporation, the big office. We go there as head of departments, head of schools. I was head of teaching and learning during that time. We go and collect bonus letter for our staff. So we went, all of us over there, all the head of schools, Prof. Hugh, Dr. Horn, everybody, all of us went. As I was sitting in the room, then they were calling, okay, next. Dato look at me. Gabriel, you are back. My mind said, bloody hell. This guy got so many thousand stuff. How the hell does he know me? You see what I'm trying to say? That is how this man is. And you guess what he said? Not only did he say, you are back, but he laughed at me, pat me. The grass is not always greener the other side. You see? That is this man. All right? That is Datuk Teo. Even a small fry like I am, he looks at so many people, such a big organization. He knew that I left. And when he saw me, he said, welcome back. Okay, now that tells a lot about this gentleman. Okay, that tells a lot. He was very passionate about about KDU itself. And I still remember the day that he went in to announce, to say that this organization is now they are planning to release, and then there is a strategic change in Paramount itself. There was a tear in his eye. We could see the tear in his eye because he was very passionate about this organization. Some of you may ask, then why sell? Of course, he is the driver, but the organization is not only determined by one individual. It is determined by many of you business people, you will know, shareholders. Okay, shareholders play an important role in the decision about any company itself. So that is a little bit about Paramount Corporation. So if you look at it, this is how it was. You look at my slide over here. Under Paramount Education, during that time, we got KDU University College, we got KDU College, we got KDU Penang University College. We also had Sri KDU, kan? Remember, we used to have Sri KDU, and then we also had Real Education. So they actually, under Paramount Education, there was a whole umbrella of levels of education, from early childhood in Real Education, where we had over there nurseries and kindergartens. Then we had the secondary and primary schools, which is Sri KDU, and we also had tertiary education until level 8, tahap 8. You know, MQF tahap 8 means PhD. So, as they said, from born until you graduate, And then they continue with Paramount property development. You buy house until you get married and you stay. So the joke was always, when is the funeral parlor coming? Until you end, you see? No lah, they didn't do that. All right, they didn't do that. That was a side joke. That was what Paramount is. And this Paramount education was the brainchild of Dato' Teo. He really wanted it. This is what he really wanted. He wanted education being affordable, high quality for all individuals. Okay, so as you can see over there, today there is no more. Real education was sold off. Sri KDU was also, and then the tertiary group was also. So this is a restructuring of the portfolio of Paramount itself. So under Paramount, there are many different portfolios. So as a business decision, they restructured and they moved certain things. And by doing so, there was a requirement to sell, to release, and so on. Okay. Now, so the history, 1983, KDU started. We offered basically during that time A levels and American transfer degree programs. We were the first American credit transfer degree program in Malaysia. And in 1983, now if you see that picture over there, that was how the picture was. That was how the picture, I think some of you can remember, kan? This is how when you were young, running around in Petaling Jaya, you would have seen that picture over there. All right. So this campus was the first purpose-built campus of a private institution in Malaysia. Yes, some of you may say, but during that time, Goon Institution was there, ma. Yes, during that time, we also had CNG, City and Guilds, and so on. Yes, however, many of these institutions were not a purpose-built campus. So this was very much a purpose-built campus, and we were the one that actually started. Then in 1984, we started a partnership with Middlesex Polytechnic, which is now called Middlesex University. So I'll just run through a little bit. 1991, Penang campus started. Now, for those of you in the Penang campus, do you know that the current Georgetown campus is not where KDU Penang started? You all know that? Do you all know that in 1991, your campus was actually by the Padang? Yes? You know? It was a government building by the Padang itself. Okay, so it was actually very, very unique. It was by the beach. It was by the Padang side. It was a government building. It started there. Then only it shifted to this Georgetown campus. And do you know KDU also had a branch in Cebu? Cebu, East Malaysia. We had a branch in Cebu. Is that news to many of you? Yes, we had a branch in Cebu, and that closed in 2002, 2003, somewhere there. I can't really remember, but I know it was during that time. That was a Cebu branch. Okay, now one thing I heard was this: the reason why they had the Cebu branch was because they wanted to target the East Malaysians. Tauke balak punya anak semua ada duit. But a lot of them got money, they come over to Peninsula. So that was a strategic plan itself. Okay. Now, so what happened is in 2010, it was awarded a university college status. Now, so a little bit on history. During that time, prior to 2010, there were two colleges, one in Penang, one in Selangor. So the one over in Selangor was then awarded University College. Now, you may ask the next question, why were we so late to get University College? Why were we so late in 2010? During that time, Taylor Sunway already University College and in the process of becoming a university already, right now. Why were we so late? Let me tell you, we were one of the first in the list to be invited to be a university college. First on the list, in the first list, with your Taylor's and your Sunways and so on. But as you all know, when you become a university college, the regulation states that you cannot offer franchise. You understand, right? University college, you must offer homegrown, only homegrown. So during that time, the decision from management was this. The market in the early noughties, okay, was very much still foreign parchments. foreign parchments. Foreign parchments were regarded as prestigious. Foreign partnerships, foreign degrees, 3+0. These terms you all tahu kan? 3+0. Oh, very good. But when you are a university college, you cannot do. So the decision was, let's maintain a college, because we felt that there was a big opportunity there that the market during that time wanted. So we declined and we said, not yet lah. Now, then you know the history lah, what happened. Many of our other competitors became university college. And once you become a university college, you are actually given a period of time to phase out all your franchise and 3+0. But there were a lot of uncertainty in regulations that eventually, many of them, even being university colleges, were still offering 3+0 and franchise programs. And now they have the word university in their name. General market perception was very simple. College, no, polytech, college, university college, university. Betul lah. Understand kan? So our competitors had university college. Automatically market perception is must be better than KDU lah. Because KDU only college mah. Okay? So that was a business decision. It was nothing to do with us on our quality or so on. No, it was nothing to do that. It was a business decision. Eventually, we understood, we realized, and we needed to jump on the bandwagon, and we became a university college after submissions in 2006, 5, 6, or somewhere there, or 7, I can't really remember. And in 2010, we got the university college status. All right. So then during that time, in 2015, we then shifted to our new campus in Glenmarie. Now, let me tell you, why did we shift? The reason was because in our Damansara Jaya campus, we couldn't grow. For those of you who remember Damansara Jaya campus, kanan, highway. Kiri, rumah. Belakang, cemetery. Which one you want to take? So difficult lah. You cannot take the cemetery, definitely. One day when you got more time, I'll tell you about the cemetery. All right, that one not today lah. Some of you cannot sleep tonight. I used to be in hotel school. I used to run breakfast service. So breakfast service starts at 7:30. So Sharina, dulu we do breakfast service. So because once you run, you need to boil water, and the water is a big tong. It takes 1 hour plus. I'm in the restaurant at 6 a.m. in the morning. 6 a.m. going up to the restaurant on the first floor next to the cemetery. You know lah. So I was told by my seniors during that time, Gabriel, you walk in, use blinkers. Don't look left and right. Walk in straight away to the kitchen, on the water, turn and walk out straight away. I was taught, touch wood, knock on wood, everything was fine. But that was what I was told when I joined the institution, when I ran the kitchen restaurant during that time. 6 in the morning, I still remembered. Okay. So those are the interesting things in our old campus. So
you
where am I
provide
again?
coffee for them lah, Gabriel? Did you provide coffee and breakfast for them?
Knocking on wood, knocking on wood, knocking on wood. No. But we had to. On the water, 6 o'clock. My students only come at 7. Then we do Maison Plus preparation. 7:30, 7:45, ready. First customer will come in 7:45. Yes, we used to do breakfast service. Then breakfast service, lunch service, tea service, then dinner. It was exactly like a restaurant. Stephanie, were you in the old campus? You were there. See, you know, right? That was how it was.
I mean, I just type in my entire story in the chat. The campus was so small, the parking was hell.
Okay. Hey, you want to talk about parking, guys? You know where we all staff used to require to park? The decision was students first, so students can park in the campus.
We park by the roadside.
Yeah, park at the house.
Very good. Park
The
by the roadside.
houses.
Number 1, Valen, not needed. Remember, we used to park in Atria.
UE.
We used to
Yes,
park
we
in
have people who park in Atria and then walk all the way to the campus.
That's me. When I start, and we used to park in Atria because the roadside Atria was given to us as staff parking. We used to park in Atria, then walk. And just picture, I needed to be there at 6 o'clock. So 5:45, you see this joker walking with his white shirt, passing Atria, Petronas, walking to the campus. I was more hantu than the hantu himself. Okay.
Gab, you come back lah and do breakfast. Sure,
jangan.
full one.
Jangan.
I
Those were the
remember
times.
our old HR manager Wei Hong had the grand idea of reserving a whole part of the Atria parking for our staff.
Yeah lah.
But
Because
it didn't materialize.
Valen, it did.
It did.
I think prior to that, we already did.
No. She wanted to have a feeder bus to send the staff over as well.
Yes, when it started, this was in 2002, 2003. It was. So there was a feeder bus, there was a feeder van that only started at 7 in the morning. Interesting times.
Yes.
Thank you. So anyway, in 2015, we shifted to this campus. One reason is because for us, very easy. Ministry gave us requirement. For you to be a university, you need this, you need this, you need this, you need this, you need this. One thing that we couldn't have over there was the growth. We couldn't have a lot of things over there because the campus couldn't grow anymore. So Dato' Teo, being who he is, he said, guys, this is what's required. We do the correct thing lah. Let's go and develop a new campus. That was where in 2000, and I think the groundbreaking was 2011, 2012, and finally on 1st of January 2015, we shifted into our new campus. This is the Utropolis campus. Guys, 2015, so it's already 9 years. So fast, 9 years already. Now, as we shifted in over there, we started growing on our programs. Okay. Now, then in 2019, UOW Global Enterprise acquired KDU Enterprises, and on 19 November 2019, the KDU institutions were renamed UOW Malaysia KDU. Now, at this time, there were 3 entities. Okay, we had UOW Malaysia KDU University College, which is the Glen Marie University College. We had UOW Malaysia KDU Penang University College, that is in Georgetown. And we had UOW Malaysia KDU College. So in Selangor, there were 2 licenses. In 2014, 2015, we acquired another license, a college license, for us to run college programs. Okay, because it actually gives us a better avenue for different markets. University college could do certain things, college could do certain things. Okay, so that was how it is. Now, then in 2022, which was 2 years ago, we acquired Ramsay Sime Darby Healthcare College. Okay, and that is now known as UOW Malaysia College. Okay, so now under UOW Malaysia, the umbrella, there are 4 entities. So this is where it can create a bit of confusion. We have UOW, University of Wollongong, Malaysia, which is the university now. Ding! This is the one. In 2023, we became a full-fledged university. Then we have UOW Malaysia KDU Penang University College. We have UOW Malaysia KDU College, and we have UOW Malaysia College. So there are 4 entities. 1 full-fledged university, 1 university college, one college itself that does numerous different programs, and 1 nursing college, 1 college that does nursing only. So these are the 4 licenses that we have. So some of you may ask, Gabe, over in Penang, we got 2 campuses, Georgetown and Batu Kawan. 2 licenses? No. 1 license. It is 1 license. They do not have 2 licenses there. It is only 1 license over there. Only there are 2 premises in Penang. Understand, guys? Okay, so this is how it is. So when people ask, especially during a consultation or education fairs and so on. That is a little bit of our history lah. So today we are under University UOW Global Enterprises now. So these are the
question.
Yeah.
You were saying that it's one license but two location.
over in Penang. Yes,
Oh, that's allowed. MQA allows
yes.
something like that.
they do.
So one is the main, one is the branch or something like that.
No, it was I don't know exactly the terms of what is written in that essay, but it's basically only one license. Because
Interesting.
over there, it is been known that this one is built eventually, there is going to be a shift.
Oh,
Ah,
okay.
mhm.
Thanks, Gabe.
No problem. So as you can see from the screen over here, these are the 4 entities that are currently here. Okay. Now, I would like to now speak a little bit about UOW Global Enterprises. Now, some of you, all of you would know we are University of Wollongong. University of Wollongong is an Australian university north of Sydney itself. All right, that is University of Wollongong. So under University of Wollongong, of course, there are many different sections, subsections, and so on. And one key one is this thing called UOW Global Enterprises. So UOW Global Enterprises is a company, is a sub-company under UOW that manages all the international branches or international institutions. At the current time itself, there is in Dubai, one in Hong Kong. India would have just started, and over in Malaysia. Okay, so UOW have their arms all over these areas. You would have seen, and you would see these areas the reason why they have chosen these key parts are because they are the key growth areas for student population. Okay, Dubai targeting their market over there, Hong Kong, the Chinese market, then the growth in India, and of course, Southeast Asia, they have used us. Malaysia when they acquired KDU itself. All right, so that is how it is. So when you look at global enterprises, the group CEO is Marisa, as you see on screen over here. She comes to our campus yearly, even 2 to 3 times a year at times, and you would have seen her, or you would see her over in Penang as she goes around. Okay, give me a second. I just want to. Okay, now, so that is Marisa Mastriani. She's the Group CEO, UOW Global Enterprises. Now, the next person is very important. This one. This gentleman, his name is Datuk Sri Michael Yam. He is our Chancellor. So now, the Chancellor is the main man, technically, not operation. Operation, individual institution got their VC. This is the main man. All right. During convocation and so on, he is the guy that will be there conferring the parchments, and his signature will be the one on the parchment itself. Now, Dr. Sri Michael does come over often, and you would also see him on campus at times, and he's a nice chap, so just feel free to say hello and whatnot. He'll be happy to say hello and even talk to you. Background is in engineering. Okay. Then the individuals over there, we have Miss Jennifer Ng. She is the CEO Asia, and of course CEO of UOW Malaysia KDU. That means now we call it UOW Malaysia. All 4 institutions are under her, and because she is CEO Asia, Hong Kong institution is also under her. Now, then we have Prof. Yu. He is the Vice Chancellor of UOW Malaysia, Glen Marie, University of Wollongong, Malaysia. And then we have Prof. Chong. You all know, your colleagues, all our colleagues in Penang, you all know who Prof. Chong is. She is the Vice Chancellor of Penang. For those of you, Prof. Yu goes to Penang at times, but most of the time, Prof. Chong does come over to Glen Marie for meetings and so on. So if you see her, you can say hello. She's also an engineering background, all right? Prof. Yu is computing engineering also, if you're not wrong. So a lot of people are engineering background over here. Then, of course, we have Prof. Hon. She is the DVC academic, oversees all academic matters in all institutions, and also the principal of UOW Malaysia College, which is the nursing college. And then we have Mr. Shankar, DVC academic, DVC for administration, anything other than academic. Then, of course, there's myself over there. I oversee the KDU college. So when we look at UOW Malaysia, one key thing here is over 41 years old. So if you look at our alumni, there are numerous alumni that are very well accepted in the industry already. Some of them are already ministers. Some of them are deputy ministers. And of course, there are many who are also sitting in jail, definitely. So we do cover a wide array. And this is what an educational institution is. We develop individuals, but some individuals may use their skills in the wrong way. But that is what makes us unique over here. All right, the array of individuals, the array of graduates that have gone through our hands. We are staffed by experts, very student-centered, globally connected, synonymous with employability, and we are competitive. All right. Now, what is our vision over here? I think this is something very important. The vision to be a leading global education provider, delivering transformative student experiences in Malaysia and the region. So what the keywords over here is leading global education provider, but where first? Malaysia and the region. We want to grow in this region and to be recognized in this region. We are not so, in a way, adventurous to say we want to be the best in the world. Not yet. No. Our vision stays as it is today. But this vision is valid today. And the vision and mission over time may evolve as things change in the environment. And for our mission, we collaborate with local and global communities to deliver quality teaching, learning, and research, nurturing global leaders and truly international outlook. That is one key thing, our collaboration with the local and global communities. Okay, now, what are the expectations of academic staff over here? Basically, it falls down to the later, as you can see, it falls down to this, the core values. All right. So before I go into the core values here is we set values which guide the behavior of staff in all parts of the institution. These are also values we expect our students to develop and refine throughout their learning at UOW Malaysia. So what we hope is this. Here, we have these 6 core values that all staff must abide. And by doing so, we hope that by abiding with it, it will then flow on to our students. And by flowing on to our students will be able to achieve their graduate attributes. You will see that there are 6 graduate attributes that all students must achieve. And for them to achieve that, we as academicians play a critical role in them achieving their graduate attributes. So for us, it is basically these core values. Number 1, integrity. 2, courage. 3, collaboration, passion, excellence, and innovation. It is easy to just put words on screen, but it is the practice that is critical over here. When we talk about practice over here, it is important for us to be able to do what we say and in a way influence our colleagues and also our students. That is what we want in all of us. And hoping by doing so, our students will then be able to achieve their graduate attributes. Now, what are graduate attributes? I always look at graduate attributes very similar to when you look at it, when you look at your MQA document, PEO, Program Educational Outcomes or Program Educational Objectives. All right. What a student must achieve when they graduate and 3 to 5 years after that. This is what is their PEOs. So when you look at our attributes, it is also quite similar to that. It means at the end of the day, when a student graduates or leaves your institution at differing levels, could be certificate, diploma, master's, PhD, they must attain these attributes at differing levels also. We don't expect a certificate student to have the same level of critical thinking as a student in a PhD. No, cannot. Certificate tahap 3, level 3, PhD tahap 8. Expectations are different. But we need them to have a level of critical thinking synonymous or as expected from the level of study. Okay, so that is what is important. Then things such as like entrepreneurial spirit. Do we expect all of them to run their own business? No, we don't. But we expect them to be entrepreneurial in their own way. And what we call it as intrapreneur. Intrapreneur means a person with the entrepreneurial spirit, but working for that person, for another company. Like for me, for example, I am working for UOW Malaysia, but I may be entrepreneurial in the way I behave. So what I have is this thing called intrapreneurial skills. Intrapreneurial skills. Okay, so this is what we want in our students. Now, after much thought, is it easy? We have with them. They come to us for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. And we need to instill in them this. You heard the term garbage in, garbage out, right? So if the student come in at one level already, we need to transform them to another level. It is important to also understand at what level did they come in first. It is the same concept that I always have on instilling integrity in our students. When we do research, we do work, academic integrity is critical, correct, right? You all agree, right? Now? And here as an institution, we want integrity in our students. But integrity doesn't start when students walk into institutions. Integrity starts at home. Correct or not? How they were brought up in schools and so on. So if a student is already so well if a student's behavior is already accepting that work is being done for them, because even at home, homework, parents are always helping them or even doing for them, just not so that students don't get into trouble. When they come into higher learning institution, they will also practice the same thing. So integrity then, how then do we change that? What I'm trying to say here is we are here, we need to. However, it is also important that whatever has happened to them in their first in the nurturing 12 years of their life, or the first 16 or 17 years, is critical in them in their development itself. And I believe these are things that we see in our students. Our students come in different packages, different shapes and sizes, and different ways of thinking. So we are here, our role is to try to transform them for them to be able to achieve this. The reason why I'm saying try to transform them is we have to face realities over here. Not all students will be able to achieve this. Some students just want to come in and just attain the qualification and leave. They don't care how they attain it. They just want to attain it. But it is our role as educators. It is our role here to try our best to nurture the students so that they will be good citizens when they leave. That is why you look at your PEOs. Your PEOs, program educational objectives or outcomes, are driven in a way complements the 5 clusters. And the 5 clusters in the MQF, the 11 sub-clusters, will also state things such as like lifelong learning, ethics, and so on. It is the same. Okay, so that is what the students must achieve. Because at the end of the day, the students that come in, the attainment of subject knowledge is only one part of their journey in tertiary education. It's only one part. If you look at the 11 subclusters, the 5 clusters, the education part, knowledge, critical thinking, maybe numeracy skill. I will throw in one more. 4 out of 11 is the thinking part. The other skills that they need is to develop character. Developing character is as important, if not more important, than just the knowledge itself. That is even driven by MQF, Malaysian Qualifications Framework, the current ones, even from the first version. MQF 1 until MQF 2 and MQF 2 version 2 and 3 also states the same thing. So that is why we as educators, it is important for us to understand what the student must achieve. Okay, guys? So when we are in class, it is important for us to educate the student on the subject knowledge. Very important. However, it is also important for us to develop their personality, develop their character to be good citizens of this nation, of this world actually. Now we are not looking at nationhood anymore. We are looking at bigger. It's a global. We are a global nation. That is what is important. Okay. So what are the schools that we have here or faculties in UOW Malaysia? Numerous. And the best thing is Penang and Selangor complement each other. So even now, when we do counseling to our students, over in Penang, a student come in, I'm interested to do law. Penang counseling will say, yes, we have law program. Explain. It is in our Selangor campus. That is how they say now. Even over here, when we say students want to do interior design or something like that, over in Penang, they have, right now, they have programs in relation to interior design and so on. We will counsel it as, yes, we have. Thank you very much. We have very good staff. We have very good colleagues. Miss Vanessa is known for this and that and so on, blah, 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 and go on. They have to talk already. It is located in the very beautiful campus in Batu Kawan. Yeah. So, you see, we don't say, oh, I'm sorry, we don't have here in Glen Marie. No, we don't say that. We say we got. Memang we got mah. We're not lying, what, right? Not. UOW Malaysia has law programs, but is located in Glen Marie campus. We have many campuses. We are blessed with so many campuses. So we do. So this is how we communicate with our students. And this is something which I want you all to have a look. All right. Please be well versed on the various programs and schools that we have here in our institution. Because when you speak, even though you're from engineering school, business school, hospitality school, or whatever, many a times your prospective client may ask you about other faculties. Okay, and it's important for you to you may not know the product top to bottom. It is fine. But at least we know that, yes, we do have this. Yes, we have this. It is a very good program. Then assistance will be given to further counsel that individual. So that is what is important. Okay, so there are many schools from hospitality, nursing, early childhood, interior design, engineering, and so on. Okay, and in engineering itself, we have electronics, we have electrical, mechanical, mechatronics, and so on. So it is a wide array. If I'm not wrong, the last count was roughly around 97 to 100 programs, unique programs that we have under UOW Malaysia. Okay, so we have many different programs for the student. So I believe many of you have been teaching for many years. How many of you, this is your first teaching job? Don't be shy, show your hand. Yeah, Melissa. Don't worry. You are teaching the graphic design certificate in graphic design, kan? Oh, no, sorry, the diploma, the diploma. You're teaching
Diploma.
in the graphic one, right? Not?
Design
See,
technology.
I know. Yeah. I'm trying to be a little bit like Datuk Teo. Know my colleagues. I even know what you teach. Very good. All right. Kau saya. Hi. Are you putting up your hand? You may want to switch on your video. Don't worry. All of your friends are here. So you're also new to teaching. Hi. Vanisha, Penang or Selangor?
Hi, I'm from Selangor, from
Which school?
Sona.
Sona. Okay.
Yeah.
Nursing. That's good.
Yeah, from physiotherapy. Hello, everyone.
Physiotherapy.
Yes.
My back is giving me problems.
I'm coming to see you.
Coming to see me.
Oh, yes, you're most welcome, everyone.
I think you have
Can
seen
I
me
make an
bringing up guests
appointment?
over to your office recently in the past few months, right? Not?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been bringing a lot of guests. Kausaya, what about you? Nursing too?
Yeah, I'm in nursing too.
In Selangor, huh?
Yeah, in Selangor.
On the
Currently,
sixth.
I'm in my clinical posting.
Okay. All right. So you're with the students in the hospital. Okay,
Correct,
very
correct.
good. Yes, I know. I've spoken to some of your colleagues how the whole process of nursing is very stringent. Okay, so if you are new to a role in teaching, always remember this, guys. Teaching is just to teach is the process. The outcome is attainment of knowledge. All right, always remember that. The goal is attainment of knowledge. So who needs to attain knowledge? The recipient. And the recipient is the student. Okay, the student lah. So I'm just using simple terms. Cikgu, murid. Student, the main goal. So for the student to attain knowledge, there is many ways that they can attain knowledge. And one way is to be taught in a class, teaching. But is teaching in a class, a physical lecture, the only way to send knowledge to the student? Is it the only way? Yes or no, everybody? No, there are many ways. Many of you, even myself, I'm honest to say, I learned a lot of things from my good friend called YouTube. YouTube's a good friend. How to make rendang. Straight away go YouTube type, how to make rendang. If my beef is low quality. Yes. Do you know making rendang, if your beef is prime beef or low quality beef, low quality doesn't mean lousy beef lah. I mean hard, let's say the ram, is a different way of doing it, you know. So you check. You check Google, YouTube. Another good friend of ours is Google. And of course, our best friend today is ChatGPT. All right. So these are all learning. Learning also takes place from experience. Our friends, you, all of you here can be my teachers. And you are my teachers in many different fields. I want to learn a little bit of physiotherapy. I'm just very curious about why my left side hurts. Then I speak to my colleague over there. And when I speak to her, I say, hey, how come over here? Then she explains to me and I'm learning and I'm attaining knowledge. That is learning. So now we have this. You are a new lecturer or educator. What is your role? Your role is to ensure that the student learns, attains the knowledge, and attains knowledge of what? Attain the knowledge of the course. You know, the course, the term course is similar as how you would, many of you call subject. The course, And what do they need to know? They need to know the course learning outcome. So now, you heard of this term or not? Course learning outcome. Also known as CLO. Where do you get this from? Dapat dari mana? Where do you get this? Where do you get the CLO of a particular course? Where do you get the course learning outcome? Or is this totally Greek to you? Where do you get it? Anybody? Where do you get the course learning outcome for your particular course? What the students must achieve?
Is it through table 4?
Very good, Dr. Prem. Table 4. MQA document. Table 4 is already there, ma. Betul? Takkan tak tahu. I need to give lesson before this. Okay, you know, very good. Malu, shy, takut salah. Jangan takut salah. Okay, so table 4, very good. So that is what the students need to achieve. Now, students need to achieve those course learning outcomes, 1, 2, 3, 4. Your role is to make sure they achieve that. How do they achieve? What do you do? Some of you will use lectures. Some of you will use demonstrations. Some of you will use practical classes or practical lessons. Some of you will use videos. Some of you will bring students out to the field to view. These are all different methods. That is the delivery method. But the goal is the same. What is the goal? Achieving the CLO. So as a new lecturer, it is important for you to understand that your role is not to go in and to talk for 2 hours and come out. That is just the medium of delivering the message. It is the achievement of the goal. So if today's lesson that you want to communicate with your student is, I want students to understand the marketing mix, and the marketing mix is comprises of the 7 Ps: product, price, place, promotion, people, processes, and another one I can't forget, physical environment. That's at the 7 Ps. You go in, you think, how am I going to get this knowledge into the student? So you lecture lah, you explain to the student, you lecture half an hour. After that, you show video. Then you do demonstration. You use 3 methods because you found out that student lecture alone not enough. So you use different methods. But the goal is the same. Correct or not? So new educators, new teachers, what I want to say is this. It is not the process, but the outcome and how you change your process to achieve that outcome that is important. So always remember, when you are an educator and your role is to educate, do not be restricted by what you have been taught or what you have experienced. Some of you may have just experienced lectures. All right? Okay, so now you're going to do the same thing. But students have evolved. The way they absorb is different. So you do that. I always tell my new colleagues, when I do briefing to them, if you're teaching accounting, debit and credit, and the students don't understand, and you need to sing to them. Sing to them. You understand? Sing to them. If by singing to them, debit here, credit there, or something like that, I can't sing, okay? And they understand, that is the purpose of what education is. If you need to sing to them, you sing to them. If you need to draw, you draw. I give you another example. Why? My previous CEO, long time already, not this current one. I'm talking about the early 2008, 2009. Nice lady. Some of you may know, Dr. Chia Chi-fen. You know or not? I think Dr. Tang will know. Dr. Chia Chi-fen. Valen will know, definitely. When I have meetings with her, I want to pitch. I want to get her support. Pitching is like educating, right? It's like lecturing. I say, ma'am, this is the project I want to do. I need how much money and so on, so on. It's like lecturing, right? Not. She don't understand one. I need to use a board. I need to draw. You see or not? She's a scientist. She wants to see everything. She is a visual person, intelligent person, but as a visual person. I need to use the whiteboard, Ma'am, this is the thing I want to do. So I'll be standing there like doing lecture, writing down. She's an intelligent person, but she learns differently. She adapts differently. I need to use that method to get my message through. Now you understand about your students? You get it? All your students learn differently. So you need to make sure your process of doing it, all right, the method that you use is suitable for them. If you need to sing to them, you sing to them. The main goal is the attainment of the knowledge, not the process. I go in, do 2 hours, I go out, success. No, that is not. Because you may have gone in for 2 hours and students attain nothing. All right? So that is the one critical thing that I want to stress. So, are you an expert? Or the more you think, the more you get confused. All right? Sometimes being a new educator, you are confused. Oh, I want to tell my students so many things. I got time or not? No time. My friend, you may be a master's student. You may be a doctorate, a PhD student. You are teaching a diploma student. Please don't give all your doctorate knowledge to them. Their mind will explode. Jangan. The level that you need to give the student is determined by the level the student is in. I am not saying don't challenge the students more, but there is this thing called must know and good to know. Now, these 2 terms I'm going to put in all of your mind. Must know, perlu tahu, is anything that is required in the course. Faham, Must know. As a diploma students doing marketing, they must know these things. That one you cannot discount. You cannot give less to the student because that is what the student must have. Good to know is once they achieve their must know, it is good for them to learn something more. In the class, students, wow, this group of students very good, clever. I give them the must know, they already know. So now I give them something else a little bit higher. That is good to know. And it will encourage them to the next level. So this is important. We as educators, we must understand what are the must know that all our students must achieve. Where do we get this? As what Dr. Prem said earlier on, table 4. Table 4, your course learning outcome, everything is clearly stated, must know. Don't spend a lot of time on the good to know, but forget or neglecting the must know. Because the must know is the one that the student need to demonstrate competency. Demonstration of competency is where student prove to you, sir, I understand and I have achieved that level of competence in this particular course. And we grade the students by doing so. We give them marks. We give them an A, B, C, and so on. That is a demonstration of competency, that grade. We give them assessment. So that is the must know and good to know. Any questions, guys? Can Okay. Some of you teaching 30, 40 years already. Similar lah. We do our style. We know how it is. We know how to tackle with our student in a way approach. Student, different approaches. Okay. So certain things that all academics will need to do. All right. Cannot run away. So you need to prepare for your course delivery. You need to prepare your course. Okay. That means do your notes. You need to deliver the course. Preparation and assessment of assignments. You need to mark assignments. All right. Preparation of final examination. Marking and assessment and assessing examination. Assessing final grades. Moderation of exam papers. You need to do research and you need to mentor students also. All right. So this is the wide array of things that as a new lecturer or what you call an academician, you need to do. Cannot run away. You cannot teach and then don't want to mark paper. It is part and parcel. I know some of you may say, Gabe, I know certain institution now we got people to mark for me, you know. Itu different institution run differently lah. Maybe that class over there, they have 1,000 students, so they have people to assist in the marking. God, it can be done in that way. But other than that, it is done by individual. Okay, so the next thing I want to tell you over here is what is your scope and your scope of responsibility. Anything the student asks you in relation to work, subject, course, you must answer. Okay, understand? Anything related to that. Anything not under your scope, like personal matters, my advice, don't answer. Because unless you are a skilled counselor. If you're the skilled counselor, approved, ada cert punya, you want to answer, go ahead. Because students will get familiar with you. Melissa, for example, you teach student 1 semester, 2 semester. They know you as ma'am. Hi, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. You have tea and this and that, minum, you know. Friend. Good. Build relationship. Then one day the student say, ma'am, I just had a bad fight with my boyfriend. What should I do? Are you a skilled counselor, Melissa? Do we have skilled counselors in UOW Malaysia? Where? Mana? Tak tahu.
Tak tahu lagi.
Ada kan? Mel?
Ada tapi tak tahu mana.
Oh, okay. SAC.
SSC,
Penang also got,
okay.
right? Please know who these people are. Now, the reason is this. For those new lecturers, all lecturers, you know what I'm saying. The more you build friendship with your student, they build trust. But please be careful on your limitations and your skill. I'm not saying don't speak to students. No. But I'm saying if it is beyond your scope and you cannot, please pass to the people who can, the skilled individuals. Because I have seen it happen before where advice from a good lecturer backfired. It didn't go out well, backfired, and it became a family thing. Oh, my lecturer asked me to do this and that. Then eventually, oh my God, sakit kepala. But the lecturer was an angel, was dengan niat baik, very good, but it didn't work out. So please go to that correct avenue. But anything to do with your course, if you are teaching mathematics and the student come and ask you, ma'am, can you explain to me trigonometry? What does it mean? You cannot tell them, no. You cannot tell them, I don't know. You cannot, no. Even though you do not know the answer, you must say, good question. Let me find out and I'll come back to you. Okay, that is how it is. We need to understand that we may not know everything. But if it is your course related, it is your responsibility to assist the student in that. And assisting could mean showing students the readings, encouraging students for the areas to get the knowledge. This is what assisting means. Okay? Now, you may say, Gabe, what about if students come and bring assignment? Every time, sir, how to do? This is where experience comes in. For me, what I do is this. If in my class, I already tell my students, any of you want to come for assistance with me for my help, I need you to do your own research and work first, what you have done, and then where you are stuck, you bring to me. Whatever it is, I need them to show initiative first. Because some of them will just come and say, how to do. It's like a blank thing. They expect you to explain to them. We want them to go through. So at least they say, sir, I think this is what it is. You expect us to do this and this is the way. Then you can guide them. At least the student has demonstrated thought. This is called demonstration of thought. They start thinking. See? If you just give, then it's just called to populate. To populate means go in only. No, we want them to think, to generate, not to populate only, to generate. So that is where it becomes important. So all that one, yes, you assist students in that way, but depending as how you go, you may have your own style. Understand this, guys? Okay. Okay. Sorry, it is 10:42. Take a 8-minute break. Take a short break. Have a drink. At 10:50, we will continue. I bet I have another roughly around 20 minutes more only. All right. Thank you very much. Take a 8 minute. 10:50, we come back.
Thank you.
Sure. Hello, can you hear me? Good? Okay. So Mel, how are you coping in your school? The only school with a PS5 in the staff room.
So far, okay, but I've not touched the PS.
Hey, cannot. You must join your gang over there. And I heard they all got the newest Wukong game, you know, there.
Oh, okay.
Ah,
Didn't know.
what? You don't know. Ah, very, very good, that one. Okay, good. It is 10:51. I will continue. Will that be fine? Good, huh? So now, the reason why a lot of these things are stressed in regards to vision, mission, us achieving our goals, what is the role of a lecturer, students, what are they supposed to achieve? They need to achieve that knowledge over there. Is because of this. In 2023, there are almost I believe not so much almost, but there are now 20 public universities, 416 private higher education institutions, 36 polytechnics, and 105 community colleges. So it is a very, very crowded field at the moment. Very crowded. And the competition is something that it is somewhat scary. Okay. And further to add on to this challenge is the Malaysian population growth percentage is not increasing as fast as we need it to be for us to sustain if we are just targeting local market. Cannot. No way. No way. And I believe that report came out last week, right? Not last week. If you see the breakdown of growth, they even say that majority of the states, we do not have enough growth, population growth to even sustain or to cover what goes. So we can't even have a positive kind of number over there. 3 states they do have, but the others no. So generally, it is a very, very big challenge. That is why we are also looking very much at the foreign market. And targeting foreign students opens up a different kind of challenges for us, especially on matters of perception. Okay, how do people learn? All of us learn differently. We learn due to the way we have been brought up, due to our surrounding, due to our environment, and due to even what we read. So if we are now looking at a larger foreign student market, then it is important for us to be able to adapt, understand this group, adapt, and customize towards this group's learning. Because whichever group that comes to us, the learning outcome is the same. Betul kan? Learning outcome is the same. You don't change. ELO, CLO, all don't change. But the group come in different. Because the group come in different and your end product is the same, you need to adjust the process. The process need to be adjusted. You see? So that is where it is critical. I always like to use the analogy of cooking. If your raw materials come in not so good, you need to adjust your temperature. You need to adjust the method and so on. Taking into consideration the first example I gave about making rendang. If you have high quality cuts of meat, the time taken to braise is much lower than if your cuts of meat is of lower quality. Lower quality doesn't mean no good, no. Means harder or tougher, like rum or something like that. So you need to longer. You need to simmer it for a longer time because you want to achieve the same outcome. Because different input, different processes. That is it. Outcome is the same. So that is why we need to be competitive. Now, are we the only one doing this? Am I the only one speaking to you on this matter? Honestly, many institutions don't, smaller institutions, but the bigger institutions, not only are they doing the same thing, like what we are doing, preparing you all, but they have even structured processes to ensure that you all achieve your particular goal. All right, it is a real clear process, and I salute them. I really salute them. I want to implement, of course, certain things in mind, but at the moment, limited resources into a certain extent, that is where the challenge is. But they are doing. So what I'm trying to say here, ladies and gentlemen and friends, is this. Whatever we do, we are one step up. Our competitors may be putting 2 steps or 1.5 steps. And this is how the market is. Some of our competitors may only be half step. Some may not be moving, but a lot of them are moving 2 steps with our every 1 step. And that is the reality. All right, that is the reality. Okay, I give you an example. If you're looking at APU, the growth and speed of growth of APU recently, it's spellbinding. Okay, very, very fast. Very fast. Student numbers, everything going up, strategies and so on. So there are different organizations that are heeding the change, and by doing and implementing strategies to ensure that they are able to overcome the challenges that there is. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, please take note. There are many players in this market. It is not only a small pie. When we started in 1983, there were not more than 15 institutions. All right. We had Agun institutions. We had Taylor's. No, Taylor's belum lagi. During that time was C&G, Hospitality School. Then we had Olympia. We had Stanford. And then we had ATC. ATC, I think was a little bit, no, and a few, you see, not even UCSI, before it was UCSI, was separate institutions. So those were then small players. But today, as you can see, nearly 500 players and more than 500 players today. Okay. So student transition to university, basically our students, they come in. So for us, we need to understand. Don't assume students come prepared secondary to university. Many of them don't. Many of them don't. So they come in, we need to prepare them. That's that preparation stage to get them to the next level. Now, and that preparation, if it is done properly, then the student will find it easier for them to adapt. That is why for the July semester, we implemented the Say Yes program. The Say Yes program, actually, it covers 7 key workshops for the student that touches on key elements required for a student. Example, I actually did one. What I did was on the workshop on integrity, academic integrity. So the feedback that I got was many of the students never knew about academic integrity. These are fresh students from secondary school. They do not know. Wow, so it was an eye-opener. They did not know things such as like plagiarism, paraphrasing, referencing, and so on. Okay, so these are the things that we are doing to ensure that when they transit into university, it is going to be less painful for them. 2, independent learning styles. We need to nurture this into students. This, I have to take my hats off to our secondary school changes that have taken place. Previously, it was very rote learning during our time, and now in the past few years, even in secondary school, there is a lot of in a way development of independent learning in the students. Now, maybe not all schools, but I know the ministry is doing this kind of things, and it actually helps this because when they come over, it is important for them to understand that knowledge attainment is not only for us as educators to give, but it's for students to attain. So they need to grab the knowledge. We are one source, but there are many other sources over there. So this is something we need to nurture in the students for them to be independent learners, to be responsible for their learning. That is why I normally tell the new students when I meet them, students, when you score your A's, all your A's, your straight A's, your 4.0, pat yourself on the back and go and tell your facilitators or teachers, thank you for helping. Helping only, no, but the effort was you. You put the effort. You wanted to achieve it. That's why pat yourself on the back and tell your facilitators and teachers thank you. It is not the teachers that make you smart. The teachers can bring this. They say you bring the horse to the water. They don't want to drink. It's up to them. But they help you. They nurture you. That is what is important. 3, assistance provided. How much and the type expected. We need to assist the students. We need to guide them, but we need to also understand what level do we give the student. All right. We need to nurture in them independence. And 4, unrealistic expectations. Sometimes some students come in, they have very unrealistic expectations. They think that they come in, oh, I just come in, pay in class, at the end of the day, I get my degree. They need to understand that getting a degree, level 6, requires a certain individual to demonstrate that level of knowledge. Now, guys, it is important for us to understand that when a student attains a degree, a parchment, a level 6, there is responsibility on that piece of paper. No? That piece of paper actually tells whoever that this person is of a certain capability, ability, and this has been demonstrated and verified in a controlled environment. That is what a degree is, right or not? This person achieved a certain level, certain knowledge, certain competency, and we have assessed this person in an environment that is controlled. So that piece of degree, that piece of paper is actually very, very creates. When we give, the responsibility is us, We don't want to confer a parchment to a person. At the end of the day, keluar, buka mulut, nobody understands. It tells what is the value of this paper. Correct or not? So always remember that. So some of our students, when they come in their mind is, 3 years, I'm going to get my degree. I'm going to get my degree. Sure. No, they must demonstrate knowledge. They must demonstrate competency for them to be able to get that piece of paper. All right? So this is something very important. So when students transition, we need to instill into them rigor. This is thing called academic rigor. Academic rigor is the process when the student puts in the effort, puts in the drive for them to achieve that goal. That is the rigor itself that is important. Okay? Not easy lah. Nobody said it's easy, but that is how it is. Because students, as I said, come in, many of them have different or unrealistic expectations. Okay. How to promote a smooth transition? What transition is this? Secondary to university. Number 1, accessible. Students, anytime anything new, there is a period of adjustment. Students from secondary school come to university, period of adjustment normally 3 weeks to 5 weeks. There's a period of adjustment. It is a new place. It is a new institution. I do not know people. All right? I got no friends. When there's no friends, no people, anything that happened, the smallest negative thing happen is as if the end of the world. All right? It's the first few stages. That is why in any organization, or any company, the drop-off period, 3 to 5 weeks is always the highest. Subsequently, when they got friends, they got this and that, the chances of them staying is higher. They drop off because no money, maybe lah, but that's important. Make yourself accessible means give student opportunity to contact you in the proper manner. Okay? Tell students, you can write to me, official email. I'm your class lecturer. I'm teaching this course. Contact me. I will reply you. Tell students your working hours. I will reply you between 9 to 5 on a working day. If you send me on a Saturday night, Monday morning, I will reply you. Example. You understand? All right, this is how it is. There is 2 sides to the coin over here, and we don't have a fixed regulation, and I will leave it to you. There are some literature that state in today's fast-paced environment, because of technology and so on, some people have already taken off the gaps, or I would say the boundaries of weekends and so on. That means some students will text you at night, expecting a reply immediately. But guys, you have the right to set the rule. But when you set the rule, please be realistic lah. Don't say, student, you only can see me every day, Tuesday morning, 9 to 9:15. Other than that, nothing. Tak boleh lah. 15 minutes too short. But you give the gap, you understand, to the students. So this is what it is. You must make yourself accessible. Okay? 2, be friendly and enthusiastic. All right? Enthusiasm is addictive. And it is also, in a way, it can channel to the student. Okay? When you're in class, you show the enthusiasm, your students will be also enthusiastic in learning. And always remember, you must have the knowledge. You make sure you are prepared before you go into class. Students will respect you not because you are the head, not because you are the principal, the vice chancellor, you have 52 PhDs or whatever. No. Students will respect you when they go into class, they listen to you, and they know this fellow talks sense. Understand? I believe you have gone to classes, or I have also met people with high level qualification, but at the end of the day, unable to channel those things to a student. So that is what it is. So you must know your subject well, your course well. Is it okay for students to ask you things that you do not know? Okay, definitely. Guys, there are so many new things happening in the world of science. If you're in engineering school or in your science, I really pity you, because you need to be always kept abreast. You can tell the student, good question, I will come back to you. Okay, good question. Let me do some reading about this. Very interesting. I will come back to you. When you say you come back to the student, make sure you do lah. You go back, you read up a little bit and come back to the student. Sometimes there are always very good students who will go the extra mile. Hey, ma'am, sir, this one, what do you think of? What do you think of the graphics in this new game? You know, you can say, I don't actually play, but give me some time. Let me have a watch on a YouTube video, then I'll come back to you and give you my feedback. You see that? Sometimes they just want your feedback, suggestion, ideas, and so on. Okay. 3, provide resources and materials to promote learning. In class, what I normally do is, when I used to teach formal classes, every first 15 minutes is reading newspaper. Okay, I have this thing where every student come into class, first 15 minutes is I will get them to talk about some important news that they read of the day. Now, during that time, our campus every day got the Sun University. I mean, no, the Sun newspaper. Sorry, Sun newspaper. Free. Now no more already, right? Now no more. So students will come in. Oh, Mr. Gabriel's class, no choice, have to take. Some of them memang will read already. They check online, some of them will take the paper and they will read. You encourage them. Okay, so you need to provide. Now, the way I'm doing it is I make it compulsory for all of them. In the first 15 minutes, we will just discuss. We will discuss anything. During that time, I was teaching entrepreneurship. So I want them to bring out matters pertaining to business and entrepreneurship, any news. So they may read and say, wow, sir, this news about hotels closing down, and so how will it impact us? Just discuss, just talk. No right, no wrong. But it nurtures in them the process of learning, of reading. 15 minutes only, then straight away I go into my class. So sometimes when I come into class, I see students are last minute reading newspaper, checking. But good lah, asalkan they do. Okay. Now, so when I say provide resources and material is, if you have watched a good video, send them the link. Tell them, guys, go and watch this video. Very interesting about food production. Go and watch this. Go and do that. You know, you give them. These are the good to know. Remember, I explained to you must know and good to know. These are the good to know. Must know, you already teach, ma. These are the good to know that will develop them to be better learners. Lectures are critical to learning. That means you yourself, you as a lecturer, and your lectures are also, is very important. How you structure it, the process of making sure the knowledge is being attained by the student. Okay, encourage students to seek help. Get your students to understand that they will not know everything. It is okay for them to ask for assistance. Many students feel embarrassed. They feel embarrassed. They don't want to ask. Asking questions in some societies or some cliques is a demonstration of weakness. All right, it's like that is how it is. Oh, I ask question means I'm telling people I do not know, but that is wrong. We want them to understand that learning, asking questions go hand in hand. All right, go hand in hand. Okay, and of course, feedback to the student. Feedback is very important. All right, there are 2 types of assessment that we need to understand. 2 types of assessment. One is called formative. The other one is called summative. 2, formative and summative. Basic pedagogical theory is like this. Summative assessment are any kind of assessment that will contribute to the final grade of the student. Anything, that means your final exam, your assignment, your weekly assessment, your class participation, anything that will impact the student's final grade is called summative. Formative assessment is any kind of assessment that develops students' character, behavior, and knowledge for them to achieve the knowledge required in the course. Like, students, fellow friends, do you understand what I'm saying? This is formative. The question I ask you has nothing to do with a final grade, but I am picking up whether you understand or not. Formative assessment can be even in the form of body language. If you see all your students in your class doing like this, you know lah, they don't understand lah, got problem. Or last night got football lah, nobody slept. But this is the face. If you see this, if you ask the questions and the student already tells you, these are called formative. So in your process of delivering your lessons, you put in formative parts into it. And by doing so, you close the loop. Closing the loop is very important. I will touch more of this during the next few lessons on lesson planning, OBE, and so on, about closing the loop. But closing the loop in a nutshell states that when you start a lesson, at the end of the lesson, you must assess the student to attain whether they achieve or whether they know or whether they don't know. Must it be written test? No. It could be as simple as an online survey. An online survey, you do things such as like Quizzy or whatever, then you get the percentage. You ask students all the must-knows of that particular day. If they can tell you, wah, you pat yourself on the back. Hari ini saya cikgu yang baik. Yeah? Student understand. And picture this, every lesson you do formative, I guarantee you, no need to worry about their final exam. Because they already attain knowledge already, ma. Right or not? You already check and balance. If today, after I do formative, and a big percentage of the class don't understand certain must know, I repeat. Oh, student, you didn't understand about the marketing mix. You only can remember 5 P's. The other 2 P's are this thing, product and price. Remember, product and price. So student remember. So you are closing the loop. The loop of life. Okay? Boleh lah. Kita pun nak close the loop. Friday kan? Where's my mouse? Okay. And the final part. We do all of this already. Many of you new teachers, Melissa is asking, Gabe, how am I assessed? Am I a good lecturer or not a good lecturer? Saya baik ke tak ada baik? So basically, it's like this lah. It's this. 1, academic staff competency appraisal. Your head of school, your academic head, your program leader will do this for you. All right. I believe Dr. Prem, Dr. Sotesh, Miss Sharina, you have already done this many times already lah. Okay, because they are the head of school. For those of you who do not know, these are the heads over there. You know why they are here? They are naughty students. They joined us long ago and never come for my ACiD trip. Now only want to join. Ay, jahat punya.
Hey, at least we come,
All right, very good. I salute.
Sharina forced to come. Let's say the truth.
Oh, okay. Sotesh, don't be too honest lah. Honest can, don't be too honest. So for those of you who do not know, Sharina is the head of school for hotel and tourism.
Hello, everyone.
Dr. Sotesh is the head of school for business. Dr. Prem is head of school for School of Social Sciences. Any other head of schools that I didn't highlight over here? Yang ada? Ada kan? Ada. Anyway, these are the people that you should get to know them a little bit. Anyway, see? Even head of school come, no choice, nanti rotan. Anyway, let's get back to this. Academic staff competency appraisal. Very important. This is done at the end of the academic year to evaluate your competency or the way that you have worked in that year. Okay? Understand? So it is done by your superior. Okay? There are certain things you fill up and then you achieve. Key Performance Index or KPI is what I want to stress over here. This KPI is what you want to achieve for the year. Let's say, now, it's not let's say, it is September now. Next year is 2025. I will start doing, my colleagues will start thinking of their KPI for 2025 very soon. Okay, so these are the things that I want to achieve. And so on. So what happens is they will put it in, they will sit down with me, and then I will run through with them to see feasibility. Oh, this one, you put yourself so high, very good, because you can achieve. This one, oh, you put yourself too low, maybe you want to increase it more and so on. This is what you want to achieve. It could be things on research, marketing, teaching, and so on and whatnot. Then, you already have your goal. This is called your goal, your 12 months goal. Halfway through, we will see where do you stand on the goal? Where do you stand? All right, halfway through. July, June, July, like that we will do. So we will say, oi, Melissa, you said that this year you want to publish 2 papers. You said in January you want to do 2 papers. Now July, you already published 2 papers. Very good. I would like to put in 1 more. Is it possible? If she say, yes, Gabriel, because I'm in the process of doing another paper on computing, for example, I think I can do a 3rd paper. Do you just see we have changed the goalpost? Your goal you achieve already, ma? Then you move. Now, you may say, how come we can change? Because you do not know the environment. Next year, Melissa expects to teach every semester 20 hours. That's why she only put, every week 20 hours. That's why she only put 2 papers. So happen, there is 1 semester, she only teach 4 hours. It happens, It happens. So she got a lot of time. What she do? She do research, February, she do a lot of research, she do a lot of things. Then a lot of papers come out. Okay? So what I want to say is this. KPI is an important thing. It's between you and your superior, your boss. You all discuss. And it changes. It changes. It moves due to the market environment, due to your expectation also. Okay? This is between you and your boss. Then we have class observation report. Class observation report is basically done where, especially for new staff, before your confirmation, you will be observed by your head, by your superior, and after that, a representative from teaching and learning will come in to evaluate your teaching and will give you feedback. And of course, we have number 4, very important, teaching evaluation by students. Every mid-semester, student will evaluate you. Scale, how is it very good, do so that, this and that, and so on. By looking at that, it gives you an idea about what students' perception onto your teaching itself. But what I always believe is this. If you do formative feedback after every lesson, you would know your main goal of instilling knowledge into your student will be achieved. Okay? And whatever it is, the student, at the end of the day, the student's achievement is what is critical. Sometimes, doing the right thing, some students don't like. And they may give you a review. Teacher very strict. Oh, teacher like my mother, very strict. No choice. You have to do the right thing. You have to do the right thing. But always remember, students are adults. They need to be told beforehand the rules and regulations first, before the rules and regulations are instilled onto them. That means if you give students an assignment and you want to penalize them if they send in late, you must tell them beforehand in the first week of your lesson. Don't, after student hand in already, they hand in late, hey, I will minus 50% from you. Man, you never tell me. Then they'll be angry. But if you tell the rules beforehand, it's like now, when you drive, you know the rules, red light, stop. If you break the red light, you go to jail. If you really break the red light, go to jail, you cannot make much noise, right? The rules are there already. So you must always state the rules first. That is what I find. Many a times after going through, understanding this and also handling cases for many years, one key element of student dissatisfaction is communication. I don't know, never say. Why now only do? Why only when it happens only this is being implied? Always say beforehand. Then the chances of it having miscommunication will be much lower. So, certain notes to bring back. Normally, notes to bring back means last slide lah. And finally, in conclusion, see everybody smiling already. You're telling, this is called formative feedback, Feedback is showing that there is a lot of content and happiness when it is ending. Okay, very good. In teaching, what ultimately
We were paying
matters?
attention, Gabe.
Huh?
We were paying attention.
Yeah, I know.
Exactly.
You know me. You guys know me. I'm like that. In teaching, what ultimately matters is not what is taught, but what is learned. Teaching 5 hours, 6 hours, 10 hours, being happy with yourself, no point. It is what the students learn that is important. 2, what we teach and how we teach and how we assess ought to be aligned with the intended learning outcome. LO, from now on, you all must start having in your mind these terminologies like PEO, PLO, CLO, cannot run away one in our education field. MQF, all you must know. So it is basically what is intended learning outcome that's important, such that they are fully integrated and consistent with each other. Okay, so what they must learn is based on that. 3, the quality of teaching is judged by the quality of learning that takes place. At the end of the day, you pat yourself on the back where you see students being able to demonstrate competency in that particular course itself. That is our thank you. As we say lah, guys, for those of you in teaching, I do not want to scare Melissa. She's young, she's new. You want to be a millionaire, you're in the wrong field, Melissa. Dr. Kamini laughing behind that. Correct or not? You want to be a millionaire, you're in the wrong field. What you will get is where your reward is where the student comes to you and say, thank you, ma'am. I am who I am because of you. That's all. And finally, critical for us to know how we are assessed so as to achieve our goals. Okay, we need to know how we are assessed. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Terima kasih. I hope it was enlightening about what we are, who we are, and how we came to be who we are. That is very important. As an educator, a new educator, a fresh educator, there are new challenges, but I can assure you, for those of you who are new, if you enjoy this, the rewards are there. All right. The self-reward, self-gratification is something that is critical. Are there any questions? No?
No.
All right.
No.
So in that case, thank you very much. Have a very good day.
Thank you, Gabriel.
Have a very good
Thank you,
weekend.
Gab.
Yeah,
Thank you,
no problem.
Gabriel.
Thank you.
Thanks a
Thank
lot.
you so
Sayonara.
much.
Good weekend.
Thank you.
For some of you, I will see you all later again
Okay,
for other
have a good
meetings.
weekend. Online, right?
Online.
Bye-bye,
Thank
Gabriel.
you.
Take care. Thanks a lot for the sharing. Okay.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
welcome. Definitely.
Bye, everyone.
Definitely.
Bye,
Cheers.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.